Golden rose, the colors of the dream I had not too long ago. Misty blue and lilac too, never to grow old. There we were near the sea of souls, sitting so peacefully. In your hand a flower lays, waiting there for me. Hit you a little Jimi Hendrix vibes, baby. Little Jimi Hendrix vibes. Like I say, let me take you higher, baby. Thank you. Uh, Arm's a little sore tonight. Will the power of blue argonite propel you? Will the power of blue argonite propel you? Will the power of blue argonite propel you? You know, we give that virgin energy up. We want you also to cut through ignorance. May you cut through ignorance as you come upon it. May you move through. May all your ideas be expanded by the diamond. It's part of all the crystal consciousness, part of all the kind of type of consciousness that we all can connect with. We just have to keep pushing ourselves to find it. And may you have the full power of the Virgin, and the full power of the Virgin be placed in your memory as a fractal of an energy source that you can use. When the mantra connected to the Virja, may you find your center. The Virja, the energies that I'll send out I guess this is it. Let's put a little more light on the old man. Illuminate the old dude. All right. All right. I think this is good enough to get started. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Chocolate Mountain Show, which is done, created by me. And I am Big Pontiac. And I am also the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that is created by the Hero Twins. And I'm also that one and only Galactic Daddy, welcoming each and every one of you who come in to watch me, welcoming you to my galactic patio that goes from Minnesota to the universe. And we're not playing tonight. Tonight's beer, once again, is Boulder Beer's Dark Chocolate Porter Shake with natural flavors added. So pop them if you got them. And just look at that. It's a little darker than the kind of got the reds in there too. But, you know, I got my Killian's Cup pint glass, like they'd have pints in Europe. And y'all, they're going up to the stronger ones. This is, I didn't buy any one, but they got the chocolate bars that I'm gonna get some chocolate bars. That shit's dynamite. So I might go get that tomorrow. But the herb gummies. So, you know, smoke them if you want them for sure. Brother Edward, I don't see Brother Edward come in yet, so I'll share that energy. But welcome. I guess what the show is all about. I guess we should say what the show is all about. The show is all about all the possibilities that we, as just grown folks, that we can come into. That's what the show is about. And it's also about loving the moment. Seeing how to get along with people. To see how you truly can get along with the ones you want to get along with. Loyalty. Like I know one time we talked about the Godfather movie, but the unique thing about it is, I think what maybe young people miss is there was a type of loyalty. And yes, you know, even that thing can be fluid too, but it does show a type of loyalty, at least from the family perspective. And I talk about that too. I mean, you have to understand, as even you look at what a pimp would be, there would still be a type of loyalty for everybody to be successful. Especially we talking about pimps from the 60s and 70s, before the crack really came. But I don't really think, you know, even crack changed it dramatically, because heroin was always out there. The heroin had a longer start than crack. So to say that took away something, not really. Some dynamics did. It put more numbers maybe out there, but didn't really change. Changed the game. Okay. But I think, you know, I think Sly was trying to talk about the difference in getting married. You know, marriage is in some way loyalty. In some ways, it shows that whichever way you practice it, whichever way you put it together, it shows that loyalty to each other. And I guess the older ways that it was done, that's how it was done. My parents got married. My father just turned 18. My mother was 20. It was like looked at as a family. You kind of, in some regard, took that step. And then, of course, even at a time where divorce became easier and easier to do. And I'll say, if my life was a video game, if they put me in a video game and you followed what I did, it'd be people like, no, dude, you should have went into the blue room and not the green. It would be full of those type of challenges for sure. But I still think I've done my best to come out and try to put the message out to everyone, and whatever message that you can receive. And that's why a lot of times current events, a lot of times where current events, especially particularly sports, in some ways that people can trying to see what kind of light I can get. But some people, the way they can relate to me, and that's what all of it is. It's how can we make something relatable, whatever it is. Whatever we talk about, whatever we present, how is it relatable? And it's famous the quote from Craig Smith: "What does it mean to me?" You've got to ask yourself that. You've got to ask yourself that. What does it mean to me? And I even say I equate where, why we started saying say less, it's like, wow, I got it, do to paint that ideal in your head and you already got it. Save some of it. It's kind of why we put that together. It's like, save some of it. You got to put it all out there in the ethers. That's why I don't even like talking about some of the stuff. The upgrades, just don't like talking about that stuff because it's almost like the little thing that pokes you, it wants to. The way this machine has worked, it's like if you start putting your ideas out there at first instead of really making the right steps to get into this stuff, the way this machine does is it'll even snatch your idea so many times. It'll snatch your idea that you've been talking about. Now, I'm giving examples of that before, so it's better to kind of hold it into you. Don't talk about it, act upon it. AOFT, crack rock, United Drills. I don't even know if that old crystal meth, the ice kind. I don't even know if it looked like that. I never saw clear looking cocaine. Not this clear. And shit, I was talking about the Peruvian, kind of iridescent, kind of glowed a little bit, but not diamond like. I do want to make a proclamation to my two famous witches that love me. Wow, okay. I guess it's not an attack. I'm not really sure of the message, but I'll quit talking shit. What seems helpful some kind of way. So right on to y'all. I say good, bad, or just level. Right now, y'all level with me. All right, we can say less, definitely. All right, want to put that out there. Now, so hot up here today. Had a hell of a lot of stuff planned to do. We was gonna go swimming and everything. I'm sorry I didn't come on and do the show last night. I was all set up. I was kind of mobile, moving, kind of had my mobile stuff together. And the area out there, the house was causing a little, one of the TVs really wasn't connected right. So where I was, that was causing the internet to kind of come in and out. Even though I wasn't using their stream or their internet, it was still kind of making it really couldn't get out. So, and plus, I was at your highness level, so it was cool too. OTF, what's happening? United Drills, JJ. Hey, Blissful Midnight. Yes, thank you. Would you consider believe or follow your dreams to be spell words, phrases? Yeah, definitely believe is definitely a spell catch. It is like believe, hope is another one. I guess you could even say wish. Those kind of words are spell catching words, no doubt. Those are cast. So there's different casts, but believe is, and this is where, like, you even take just a child, and a child believes that he can make a colorful picture to show, the nature that he sees. He believes that the child can visualize what he sees, and given his age, he can put it on paper, and he believes he can do it, and he'll show you. He's enthusiastic to show you because he believes and knows he can do it. But that's not the kind of belief that is pushed in the way the word is used. They want you to say, hey, there's something invisible out there that you just accept. And there, it's is there something greater than us all? I mean, we are a part of it. Whatever it is, we are just as much a part of it as it is. So that is just a fact. You had a Draco. You had a Draco. Much love, A Pale Horse. Thank you. Hey, Alan. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Those are very kind words. I thank you guys so much. Thank you very much for the kind words. You had a Draco. But that's what they are. Yeah, they're definitely that. They're definitely all that. All kind of those phrases. As you know, I tease the guys about at the end of the day, but that was a parroting phrase that I've seen other parroting phrase throughout history. Sometimes, commercials be the first one to push out parroting phrases, but now we see the commercials now not being the one to innovate the parroting phrase. They'll catch on later. The parroting phrases seems to hit this, or I imagine Twitter, Facebook hit those kind of things, and then people, they put a bunch of them out there to see which ones catch on. And when the ones catch on, and that's what you see. That's what you see out there, and that's what people say, and that's how they're talk. That's the lingo that you see. So that's all. Just be aware of that, and when you talk to people, just be aware, of how they're phrasing, and because that's another part, like especially selling. When people sell, there's a lingo, there's a rap to selling too, and so, and it is a type of cast. They want to put the words up to favor and put a lot of their favor of you being open to these suggestions. In the way that intelligent look is that you look at several suggestions, and then you say, okay, I'll go with this one after several, not just the first one put in front of you. That's why I say, and I guess it goes with women or men. It's like, the difference between seeing a person the first time and seeing a beautiful person. Some people get struck, first time seeing someone, not really being around enough beautiful women to really have objective opinion. There's a lot of people that really don't be around beautiful women. I mean, that's just how it is. And so for some people, men, women, one or the other, there's people that just aren't used to seeing beautiful people. So sometimes they get enchanted by a new face. So, but hot, well, not as hot here again. Like predictive Bronny helps getting better and better. My boy said from the beginning that he's trash and ain't no way. I said, how the B system works. Yeah, they show Bronny doing the 360, catching it. So he's definitely gonna have a 2 game. He's gonna be 2 sides. When Bronny makes it, people will love him because he's gonna make it look like he earned it. Well, because of his size too. And if they turn on the basket like and making Steph like, which probably so, but he's definitely going to play with LeBron. And just as Ken Griffey Jr. I mean, I guess that would be the most. I would think the nearest comparison is Ken Griffey Jr. And he lived up to it. Injuries kind of boggled him. He probably was a little reckless with his body, going after balls. I say a couple times injuries. Maybe didn't need to go after the balls to get the injuries the way he did. Who's to say? Who's to say? Did he really get injured? Those kind of things. But that commercial he did with Gatorade years ago tells you that this is what's going to happen. Now, the commercial showed him going to Duke, losing the national championship, and then playing with the Lakers. Playing with LeBron and the Lakers. Yeah. That was a commercial a few years ago. So that was predictive programming there. I mean, I don't really do cards of the family or anything. I just wonder, you don't hear a lot of that younger child, not as much. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know, just dark thought came, and yeah, I'm not gonna pass that on. Steph just posted pics of his wife dressed in black and white with a hidden hand in the jacket. Yeah, not surprised. Not surprised when any of these people did. I was just watching something where I was watching the auction with a lady in the car auction, because the car auction is in Indianapolis this weekend. Yeah, so I was watching, I watched part of the live coverage, and then it went into what was shown earlier in Indianapolis. Barrett, was it Barrett Jackson or the other one? I don't know if it was Barrett Jackson. Might have been the other one. It'll come to me in a minute, but I love the car histories. So, but just even watching that, there was a lady on the sideline that was part of doing the auction, had the polka dot light or had the stripe. So, plus I caught a picture of that. If you guys saw the captain, the Derek Jeter show, and how that show, how that show, there's a picture of him getting his hair cut with the cheetah print coat. So I didn't know. I was thinking about releasing it. I don't know. But it's very interesting that he has that. Very interesting. So, and that picture's from back then. And everything's planned. And I know a lot of people could look at the picture and say, well, this Barbara, but it's all visual what they do. They say everything's put out there. Everything is revealed. All is revealed. Okay. This is okay. This is what I'll give y'all. I'll give you this. All is revealed. And because all is revealed, you should be able to make a wise choice, because you can find it all now. We are the highlight of the technology age, technical age. All is revealed. And I know, I go back and forth about this free will thing, because I really think it's a trick. I think it's a trap. I really do. It's a trap. It's a trick, I think. But all is revealed. So if you want to apply that and say, because all is revealed, you have the right to go look up anything. You if you want to compare that and say that could be free will, okay. I would probably say maybe there is because it is out there to do, and if you're motivated enough, there's nothing to stop you from doing that. I guess that's the middle ground. I would agree with people. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. People just aren't motivated. People don't really think that there's any more than what there is. So, yeah. But the sheep think he's good old Christian. She's a good old Christian. So I'll give you that. I'll come to the middle on that. You can, I guess we can both agree to disagree. We can say less about that. you know. But it's out there, and it's hungry. And it's never been hungrier. I'll say that. It's never been hungrier, and it's never, the sacrifices are becoming bolder and bolder, more and more. So be aware of the way the way they're doing this, the when and the why they're doing this. If you go with the 12, we're in the time of Gemini, you know. Which again, they stole the idea of the hero twins, you know, calling them something else. But it's the older idea, the hero twins. See, they try to take these energies. As I said before, there's information in the what is it, the Agatha, and that book tells you they had ways that in Kemet where they would create these in some ways they would create these entities using these different star systems. I mean, the Agatha, I think is what it's called. It gets quite detailed in how they would do this. They actually would be involved in creating this entity in this star system. So I guess some people say these star houses, but this is how. And so that's why they say, you know, the saying of man created gods and then men worship them. I mean, really, it's a little more involved than that if you look it up. And then once they create this entity, the entity is favorable to them. And I've said many years, you know, there's an entity over, you know, where I go play pickleball every day. I saw entity many years ago when I lived closer to, well, I've always lived close to the casino when I lived in Prior Lake. You're close to it, but pretty close aerospace wise too. And I saw something over there hovering around that area. As I said, you know, they can project anything, but this was something that it looked like Wonder Woman just hovering around where the village was. And there's drones, definitely drones coming from around the reservation and coming around the little area. As I said last night or a couple nights ago, it was a drone with a black thing around it. It was some kind of black thing. It was a drone in the middle, and it was some kind of black thing around this drone. It was interesting to see it. Because I don't live terribly far from a major air base, you know, U.S. air base and air base. Hey, Siova, how you doing, bro? Things are going great here. Thank you for joining, man. I was thinking about you earlier. Hey, Wind. Can someone manifest their height? Solar system. Brownie would be in the hood of Ohio flipping burgers if his daddy didn't sell out. Were they true? Sold out to the Jesuits where they have a super strong hold in Ohio. Interesting. Let me answer it. Not really. Not really. You can't really manifest anything like that. I know a lot of times parents try to manifest it in children, but children tend to get big now. I don't know if it's just here in Minnesota. There's a lot of big children. My friend's nephew he's like 6'2", almost 6'3". You know, he's a senior this year, so my boys there was a lot of big children since I've been here in Minneapolis, but now if you look at Michael Jordan's story and how much he grew, like 5'8" to 6'5", it's considerable. You know, it's quite considerable. So did a spell or could a spell do that for him? Yeah. But it would be painful for a person to have to go through that. Not to say you couldn't, but it would be painful, quite painful. Oh, here we go. Steph, LeBron, Nate Thurman, all born in the same hospital. Yeah, that hospital got to be old as hell. Was that hospital new when Nate Thurman was born in it? Damn, why would Nate Thurman? Nate Thurman had to be born in the 1920s or 30s, no, 1900s or 1920s. I want to say he was older than my grandfather. Not probably older than my grandmother, but probably older than my grandfather. One of them. Zach's son just got a crazy growth spurt too. Yeah, so I can't really say that you can. I just say that if you're young, more than likely you're gonna get pretty tall. That's we all. I mean, you may not get tall as you want. I was watching the thing on Frankie Lyman. Frankie Lyman went from about probably 5'1" to about 5'4", 5'5", which I didn't know he did, and I didn't know he had a brother that kind of did his act. But so you can, but no, not please forgive me. I don't know any way that you can do that other than just being who you are. So don't worry about that. That's superficial. Some great connections that Nate is Brian Pops. Yeah, it very lot is. 6'9" Curry's wife. He's silly. OTF, he's silly. He's silly. I ain't got no opinion on her one way or the other. She ain't nothing but a distraction. I'll only use them as once the season plays and try to see how to make money off them. What? Curry kids. Man, come on, that's too much. That is way too much, man. You doing too much. That is too much. Oh. But I played a great amount of pickleball today, I'll say that. Played with a friend that wanted to learn, and we played together for a long time. So we got to just back and forth for about an hour. And as we were leaving, somebody, like, would you guys play us? And I'm like, well, this person, she never played before, but this is her first day. It's like, okay, we're kind of new too. So we played 2 or 3 games with them. So great workout today. But with my friend, just teaching them how to play, I got a great workout. Because to me, hitting is so important. It gets me more accurate. So I'm about to be a motherfucking pickleball. Very much crazy. Trolling now. She probably got Steph screaming. Yeah, it is a little too much, man. And a little too much. Need the children's out. She got this strap up. Y'all tripping tonight, man. Y'all are tripping tonight. Y'all wilding tonight. You guys are wilding tonight. I never thought about her. I couldn't even say. Now, I don't think nobody would want that. But yeah, leave the children's out of the rap. Like, what would it take to just get around her? You really have to be super connected and probably have some help with the right way of being around her. It will be fairly organized if it was for to happen. And again, as I said, shaming is better than getting killed. So, and that seems to be the route that LeBron has taken, especially with his mother. His mother in West. That's better than somebody getting off. So, I think. And that's why we've seen people play these different roles throughout history. And too often or not, we become engaged. There you go. We become engaged into their lives when we really shouldn't be. Can't think of a way not to get this on my hand because I'm still putting cigars. Put it on the stuff. Get some cotton up here or something. And this is eucalyptus. During 2020, they were saying this, keep this stuff around, keep it on you, put it on stuff. You can put it on charms and stuff. Yeah. I take that. I give Curry wife my monkey paw. Ricky Smooth overrated. Might be Steph Handler though. Chronica Judah broke it down before a couple years ago. Obama might be his handler. No, I think his daddy was his handler. Now maybe to get to the next phase, but his daddy was his original handler, no doubt. His daddy was both of their handlers. Yeah. Below average defense. All the greats play both sides of the ball. Well, maybe Bird, but he played great team defense. Bird was all right too, though, at first. Bird, big guy now. Remember, Bird's 6'8.5". So Bird matched up pretty good. Bird was going through picks, fighting dudes. So Bird wasn't bad. I mean, he was guarding 3s and 4s, guarding 3s and 4s. I mean, that's why it was hard for Barkley. Barkley was, what, 6'4", 6'5"? He was just strong. And he played an effort. Hey, Dr. Sinister, how you doing, man? Curry wouldn't be nothing without magnets. He was getting shot out by his old coach and bums at the park. Ha, that's funny. Last night I was coughing up. Mama, I don't know, Ricky Smooth. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Healing energies to you. 5 times lost 3 in the Magic. Larry Bird can hoop, man. Before Larry Bird got hurt again, Larry Bird, if originally he goes somewhere else where he plays his 4 years and able to go into the league, in his because Larry Bird probably could even win hardship, but that transfer hurt him, and so really he only had a few productive years. I've talked about that. He really only had a few productive years, and by the time the Dream Team came around, he was hurt. He was a shell. So, but the rest of them was dogs. Karl Malone was on that team. Yet Barkley was perceived as the best player on the team, really. Well, on the other hand, Jordan had just won a championship too. So Pippen too, right? Wasn't even Pippen on the Dream Team? So so yeah, he was a bad boy. Bird was a bad boy. But just that time off did affect him. I definitely think that time off affected him. And I've talked about that before several times. That the time off affected him. He got old pretty quick. Another guy which got old pretty quick was George McGinnis too. Great shot, but he went to Philadelphia and was damn near the MVP the year before Dr. J. So the year before the merger must have been 75, 76 season. I think George McGinnis was second in MVP that year. Damn near winning it. Then the next year they get Dr. J, and even though his score and his playing went up when they went to playoffs, he fell apart. He was averaging during the season 25 a game. During the playoffs, he averaged 10 when they played Bill Walton. Shit, and they say he used to smoke a cigarette and drink a beer right after every practice. Dudes, I don't know. Bird has some of the best 9 years ever, and he was unselfish as they came. Averaged 10 rebounds with 2 and 2 other 7-footers on his squad. Yeah. Bird had Dennis Johnson, Kevin McHale. I mean, he did play with All-Star, Hall of Fame players, Chief, Bird played with Hall of Fame players. Should have been Shaq. Yeah, definitely should have been Shaq. You should sweat. Like, get out of here. Man, that's wild, OG. So, I don't know. But yeah, that's just a little bit of history that I saw. And so, but now, hell, you can, under the new college rules, you can play in college damn near forever now. Is Larry Bird racist? Nah. Larry Bird grew up in Indiana. Like, people forget that Indiana was very, very racist. Very racist. Very racist state, especially southern Indiana, bordered the South. So, very racist state. Um, when you talk about when Oscar Robertson and then moved into that area in Cincinnati, um, Crispus Attucks, I think they created the school. They had to create a school when all these, melanated people from the South moved into the area. They had to create a school for them. So I don't think so. But my point is like I said about his brothers, man. His brothers might have been, I think, all state basketball players too. His brothers was both big dudes and both could hoop. And just where they grew up, everybody played with everybody by this point of the 70s. And his brothers were like playing semi-pro by the time, they got out of high school. They was playing semi-pro because they had played good high school ball. So they was playing in the summer leagues. They was playing pickup with everybody. Because the Indiana Larry Bird grew up in, again, is the stories of the Indiana basketball. And I know, you look at championship and things, but there's no other state that has a tale of Indiana basketball, especially before they went into different divisions. As I said, one of the greatest achievements I ever watched was Scott Skiles from a 200 school, from a 200 people school, win state. I mean, this dude was phenomenal. And he does hold the assist records. But I mean, it's just that Larry Bird grew up still in that competitive state. They call, Indiana the basketball state is for good reason. Now, of course, there's Bobby Knight had a couple runs, but no pro basketball really success out of Cincinnati. Parrish was okay. McHale was nice, was soft on defense. Well, it was hard because McHale was really a center. McHale wasn't a 4. I mean, McHale had to play 4, but McHale was really a 5. He was really a 5, and so defense-wise, he was used to guarding. He wasn't really used to guarding dudes at his height that could put it on the floor too much. And he faced it a little bit in college. I mean, hell, Michael Thompson, he was facing him every day in college. So he could put it on the floor and move. So, well, now, Michael Thompson was more of a 6'10", 6'11" dude, so... But both of them was post-up guys, too. But both 5s. So that's why he fit in, because he was used to playing with another post-up. So I don't know. Yeah, it would have been hard to deal with, for McHale to deal with a dude 6'8" that could handle the ball and move to the hoop. But on the other side, could that dude deal with McHale posting him up? So, yeah. Okay, that's just too much. That's just too much, guys. T-Mac is overrated. Carl was that. T-Mac was overrated. Yeah, I would say. I think it's right that he went into the Hall of Fame, given that the way he came into the NBA. I think he was not allowed in some early in his career, not allowed to really fulfill his potential early in his career, and I think he got frustrated with that. Some of his greatest plays definitely scripted. We all know. So yeah, I think a little bit, somewhat, but I think he gets credit for making it in the NBA out of high school and being a great scorer. Going into the league and being a great scorer. I think. That's what I think. That's what I feel. But I mean, skill level. Be 6'9", handles. A lot like Magic, but a true dog of a scorer. Yeah. Yeah, definitely had those skills. Great guy to watch. Just never, for some reason, it was never set for him to be the man. Again, when he won his title, it was after that microsurgery. I think he had it too. And he was not the same guy. I think he played in China as well. So, but playing, trying to get it back a little bit. Still got to practice every day. You did. What is it? Weirdos talking about Steph's wife day? Why do y'all care? I don't even know her name. I don't know if we know her name. I just her name to me is Steph's wife. Y'all know her name. That's crazy. I don't even know her name. Because that's how much I don't care. Somebody I think about. Why would I think about her? That's on y'all. Some things just like somebody is speaking about his children, and that's not really appropriate. And like someone said, probably trolling, but that's okay. Trolling is still watching, participating. Because I can put it out there too, and I can take it. My message is still the same. I try to put what I have learned, I try to convey it to y'all that watch without misleading. And that's what we see, a lot of misleading. A lot of people already know they misleading and still misleading. And I think some people got a good heart. They just misled, that's all. And when some people are misled, it's hard for them to, it's like, they connected to a train. And even though they know the reality, it's better to stay with the illusion and stay hooked up into the illusion. Because the illusion of the past lies has more power and has more recognizable names and faces. So some people want to stay connected to that because it was slowly dying, because the lies of it was being shown to not be true. And still there's those that want to push it out. Yeah. So and that's on y'all, As I said, I'll meet. I'm going to Chicago. I'm going to Chicago in August. So when I go to Chicago in August, I'm doing shows in Chicago. Dennis Rodman lived rent-free in Players' Head tonight, especially Karl Malone. Dennis Rodman lived rent-free in players' heads. Well, he matched up well with him. Karl was a hard matchup in a lot of ways, but Karl had Stockton and they could run pick and roll. And Karl was bigger, about 6'7", 6'8", and a solider guy, but not as bump you as much as Barkley bumped you. A guy that had a pretty just separation, straight up separation. A little bit of a fall from his jump shot, but mostly just stronger than you and easy to separate at his size. So mid-range to death. I mean, really, really mid-range to death. I'd say really a closer to Tim Duncan type of movement off the backboards. He had all that too, but even a better mid-range than Tim Duncan. Probably all round better mid-range, because they could run that pick and roll anyway. They ran it down the middle. He's good down the middle too. Not really a bump you as much as Barkley, or could dunk, but not a different game than Barkley. Different game, completely different game. Karl was a hard matchup, all right. Yeah, he was a hard matchup. No doubt. Just ask them minors. Oh my goodness. Just ask them minors. Yeah, there's truth in that. There's definitely truth in that. Hey, SD, what's happening? You think all of them were? I didn't know that. I didn't know all of them. But Bibby, was that Bibby and Chris Webber? Rasheed? Wasn't Rasheed on that team too? How could name Mailman? How did he get the name Mailman? Because on the pick and rolls he always delivered. On the pick and rolls he always delivered. That's why they called him the mailman. He always delivered, especially on the pick and rolls with Stockton. But that's where it came from. Yeah, Weber is not European, and Bibby's not European either. And I think Rasheed Wallace, wasn't he on that team with the Kings too? But that Kings team, yeah, they weren't. I think Kerr, oh, what, sweet like apple pudding. Yeah, that's weird. How do you think about that? Like, how do you think about that, J Ski? Like, really, how do you think of some stupid shit like that? I don't know. Vivi is half European. Ah, okay. That is probably, yeah. Okay. I followed his dad at UCLA and in the league. So you might have a point. Oh, that's funny. But that's okay. It's not expected, you know. It's not unsuspected. I can take any of it on the chin. That's the good thing about this kind of system. It's kind of easy to control, you know. That's all. I ain't running from nothing. I'm right here with y'all. Like he said, we ain't going nowhere. We are right here, baby. See how cold my beer is. Ooh, true cold. Toast to the booty. It's a George Clinton song, so don't wear it out on me. More nectar. All right. Guess it becomes interesting. Let me see. Should never play for the Kings. Okay. Natural immunity, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to get a taste of 2 or 3 or 10. Don't know what that means. Clyde Drexler with the Rockets looked washed up. He didn't have to play as hard. Actually, Bibby, not European, he just like kind of. Yeah, I'm not sure about his mama. I know his daddy, who his daddy is. I don't know who his mama is. I know when he was playing the 3-on-3, he looked all jacked up like he'd been shooting roids. I think even Sly mentioned that because Bibby was looking super, you know, like in his late 30s, early 40s, and super chiseled. Not saying it's not, you know, if you got the money and you can put the equipment in the crib, you can't get like that because you can. But it's still fun seeing it. And definitely, you know, it's a real thing to take care of yourself. Watch what you eat. Get out of eating all that sugar. The sugar monster, some people look at. They call sugar the sugar monster. And the way it is, you know, the endorphins, the sugar hit is the same way that, like, if you did crack or you did meth, you're working against the same endorphins. Pleasure seeking. You know, I know a person that would eat a cake. If depression hit them, this person would literally get a big cake like this and just eat it if they was depressed. And just because nobody was there to tell them to stop, they would eat all that cake. And I know we all go into dark places and don't know where help is. Don't know who to trust. The old spell is trust no one. I don't know about that. I think one thing that the armed forces do is teach you to trust people. When you're a police officer, sheriff, whatever, you know, you're taught to trust people. Because what they're going on is we've all been trained the same. So if something comes up, we're pretty much all trained in our own way to handle something in a similar manner. And so military and police don't have to be the only ones that operate like that. That's the point. And I was part of groups the late 80s that operated like that, where you learn to trust people that you trained with. That's what it is. So, he says, uh, yeah, you can't get natural like that. I agree. Lakers used to battle. Yeah, it was some good games. They robbed Sacramento, though. You think they take Joe? Doesn't look good. I think they need to do. See, okay, let me tell you this. I'll tell you this. What is going to happen? This is going to happen. Right now, the gas. See, the way the way gas goes, and there was a meme talking about gas prices when Trump was there. It just gas runs on futures. So right now, the low prices we're seeing, we're going to benefit. See that gas, they've already said that gas goes down near the election. So during the midterm, gas is going to go back way down. And then back January after elections, they're gonna go right back up. So that's something that's coming. Now, what can they do? Nah, they don't want her in there. So no, Joe ain't going nowhere till they lose it in 2 years. Joe is not going anywhere until they lose it in 2 years. So I don't think so. Oh, there's my man, PJ. Yeah, there's been some trolls in here, PJ. Okay. I guess we gotta take care of you too. Played Baccarat at casino. Oh, did you? Okay, that's probably fun. Chicago Bulls, the first team that started cutting the lights on before intro. Maybe in pros. Maybe in pros. Told you before, when Dick Vitale was the coach of UND, they had the best introduction ever. I was at one of the games down at UND that was on. It was on Michigan TV, so I remember people saying, seeing the game. But I was down there, and they introduced the players, and the players was in the audience, like they introduced the other team, and then they did the same thing, turned the lights off, and they said, "Now starting," and blah, blah, blah. And then they would put the lights on the dude up top, the first person they'd show, the dude would be sitting up top, and they keep the light on until he ran down to the court. Then they did that to all five. That was really clever. So. Could be. Nah, that shit is too harsh. No. That shit is too harsh. This is finer tobacco than that. That is too harsh. I couldn't go with that. That is too harsh. Chewing tobacco, woo! I remember the first time. Plug ain't really that bad. You can get plugs of tobacco. You bite off little plugs. Those ain't really too bad. That ain't bad. But that loose leaf, oh no, that's a man's man kind of tobacco. Couldn't do it. $10 cigar, chew on it for a couple of days was good enough. And even though this one ain't sweet, you see it's held up pretty good. Man, medication makes my mouth dry. But it seems like everything works. Say yuck. Oh yeah, that loose leaf. Now the little block of it, it's not too bad. You just cut off a little bit. Not too bad. But the spitting is what gets me. When you chew these, you ain't got to spit. You ain't got to spit. You swallowing it. You getting it in. Yeah. They used to. Dudes getting cancer though for chewing that shit for 20 years, eating their jaws up. And like snuff and stuff. Snuff is made where they have snuff has what is it called? They use insulation with it, but it actually will make cuts. So the tobacco, you absorb it. Yeah, they put this chemical like in you, and it cuts you. What's insulation? It'll come to me what insulation is, but they put this in it. So cut gives you these little micro cuts. So it's easy to absorb. But it's the same way, just sucking on them. Every now and then I'll smoke one outside. Hey, there he is. Man, we got to get better timing, bro. Did you know me? Man, I'll be up all night. I'll be up all night. But yeah, we just got to get better timing, bro. We'll work it out. Chewing tobacco probably better than cigar. No, it ain't. I've chewed tobacco before. I ain't saying it not out of experience. I cried when Jordan's speech at his funeral. Wow. No, I'm not smoking that thing. Definitely not smoking it. Hey, Carrie, how you doing? You gonna watch some Korean baseball? Miss Carrie, thank you for joining. You watch some Korean baseball. Why? Why do you want to watch Korean baseball? Well, Miss Carrie's there. Sly was Hey, Soap, how you doing? Sly was bringing great topics. Doosan Bears. Oh, Doosan Bears. I tell you some stuff I like too. I found where you can get more of the antique style hats. There's a name for the antique style baseball hats. They can give you some of the old. As I said, if you really have a history of studying American sports, there's multiple teams, mascots that are really kind of neat throughout there, and that people are bringing back that you can get. LG Tigers. Thoughts on the new variants? Man, I don't think about that. So why would I think about that? What is that to think about? I got too involved before, fighting with Facebook. It doesn't matter if it exists or not. It doesn't matter. It's a fear program, but it is a program. It is part of propaganda. So is that gonna go away? Nah. One group finds power from keeping it out there. So, but is it worth me thinking about? Worry about yourself. I guess you did ask a question. What does that mean to me? It really doesn't mean anything to me. I guess that's what it boils down to. What does it mean to me? It don't mean anything to me. Don't mean nothing, not a thing. In my 61 years, people have always got sick. And people have always died. People always seem to get hit by Mack trucks and buses for some reason. You would think that would go away, but for some reason it doesn't. It's very bad timing. Okay. That's interesting. I'm the popular guy tonight. Vegas, I think you missed that. PJ is in Vegas. PJ is in Vegas? What? For real? You in Vegas, PJ? Good for you. Maybe I did miss it. All right. I did miss it. PJ's in Vegas? Okay. Ricky Smooth, why are you going to ask that? I don't care. Yeah. Oh, okay. I missed it. I'm sorry. I don't know, and I don't care. I mean, people always got sick. But PJ's in Vegas? Okay, that's outstanding. That's my man. Have fun. Right on. I find joy for him going to these places. I don't go very far, but I am going to Chicago. Definitely going to Chicago because Pomatic said he would not chop it with me unless I come there. So we're gonna set up the equipment there, working on that. So yeah, excited to go to Chicago. It's a beautiful energy in Chicago. Excuse me, it's the one city that they tell your brother founded. Brother was the first to hustle there. He founded the city. So that's why they've kept the energy that hits that the way it hits it. That's why if you look at his history, the dude who supposedly founded, they give you just this crazy history. As I say, play Baccarat. I came to U.S. What states would I hit up? Um, I don't know. New York is old. Shopping though, a lot of shopping in New York. Miami's beautiful. Uh, Raleigh, Durham, Greensboro, they're all beautiful cities. Places in Virginia that's beautiful. DC is actually a beautiful city the way it's laid out. Uh, California, up and down the coast is beautiful. Colorado is really a beautiful state too. Texas, beautiful parts of it. Louisiana, American all around is a beautiful country. So it just depends on what you like. You know, that's what it depends on what you like. You gonna freeze in Chicago? Not if I go in the next month or so. It's summer in Chicago. Freeze in Chicago, not in the next month or so. Yeah, that's what Nick Taylor said. Nick Taylor said he'd lived down there in Texas. He said it was 106. It ain't been like that here today. We got the rain. So today we had a lot. We were supposed to go swimming and everything. We had a lot planned. But he ended up playing pickleball for 2 hours. So I feel good. You know, anytime I can get that racket like that, work on my business, get together. So anytime I can get that in y'all, I feel good. You know, find something that you guys can do every day. Walking your dog, whatever you do. You know, walking your dog is a great thing. It's a great connection too. And it's funny when I see people walking their dog and they're not connected to their animal. It's just a chore. You heard of spike ball? Yeah, I heard of spike ball. Mm. We was trying to get one a couple years ago. We ended up getting it. Seemed like a little summer fun game. There was another game that was a 3 volleyball kind of thing. I thought would good help with the volleyball skills. Hmm. Do you think dogs hate being on a leash? Not really. Not really. I don't think so. I mean, not in this day and age. Not in this day and age. They're used to it. I mean, so many generations get used to it. They get used to it. I mean, I've had good dogs that just will stay right there with me, or if they wandered, they would come back to me and not bother nobody. People out here in LA bring dogs in malls, food places. Wow, the variants. Yeah, I don't comment on one way or the other. I don't know, man. If I had dogs for bodyguards, I would want the dogs to be able to come with me wherever I went, so that wouldn't bother me. I'd want them bad motherfuckers where I'm eating my hamburger and onion rings. I'd like them bad motherfuckers right here. Then my big sons next to them dogs. My son and Roni, them gonna be my bodyguards. Roni's a bad boy. Roni just needs the other training. He's got most of the hand-to-hand combat training. Teach him the rest of it. And I can teach that to people. So I have a small army out there with me. It's just funny going out now. You know, seeing people, are they really real? It's fake people want to be ones that, help this system needle you, get in your way, get on your nerves. Like I was telling, I think I left Brother Nick thing. Like, man, I've gotten some stuff where I had to listen to his voice just to calm down. Like, man, I need to calm voice. Which voice can I listen to so I can calm down? Sometimes you just, do I trust a pit? Yeah, pits are normally good, sweet dogs. Wouldn't have problems with pits. Yeah, I saw the Red Sox yesterday. And who was talking about Devers? I told y'all Devers. Was that USD? Devers is hurt. I thought I told you that. You think the difference between owning a dog and a cat? Cat's self-sufficient. You ain't got to really worry about the cat. I mean, the dog, yeah, he can go outside and shit in your grass, pee somewhere, but really to fully keep him healthy, you need to walk him. They're kind of animals, like wolves, where they can do miles at a time. So you get certain brands, you definitely want them to have a big enough area where they can just run. So some of these little acres I be trying to look at have some dogs and just like run, and then whistle. Let them get in the woods a little bit, and they hear you whistle, they'll run right back to you. They'll sit, give them a second, let them do it again. If you got land, you can do them like that. Shoot, and build a tree house, like a tree house, a place where you could. I used to love it as a child. I was lucky to be around creative dudes that built tree houses, and after they all got older, it was like, I was. All them left. It was like this stuff was left to me, so I was like kind of the king of the tree houses, and I think that's where I think meditating too. But yeah, cats are more self-sufficient. They're not as needy, not really. They ain't hiding the script. Yeah, sometimes they do that. Yep. They want everyone. Fady Red Sox. They're about to make a big run. I don't know, man. I don't know about that one. Twins won tonight. I saw that. Twins won tonight. You think there's some spiritual gains from? I would say, yeah, in a way it probably is. I'm 61 years old, and it's probably better that I give it to a woman and just do it. I don't really see. I guess once you find a woman, and that's the only time you really need to do it. Once you find a woman, but if you have a woman, I don't see the point of it, because actually having that woman to make you stronger. So I guess that's the only thing. So it's depending on you, man. Really, I don't know. Balancing out the lower chakras, grounding can do that. I don't really work with that because I think it limits you. But I don't. If that's what works for you, yeah. And to me, like balancing the lower chakras is remembering that there's all these worlds. It's not just worlds right here. That's kind of what they teach you. Um, if you can create all the worlds, I know as I speak to you, you can imagine all the worlds just in front of you. But remember that at the same time, there's worlds on top and there's worlds on the bottom. And you're just saying, you're trying to balance that energy, because again, you're in an extreme amount of energy with all these different worlds that again you have kind of opened up. And then as your awareness is trying to expand and really understand all that you're seeing and all that you're perceiving, you're saying that you need to pay more attention to the lower kind of energies that may be where the disturbance is. And that's, you activate all that. That's crazy. And, I had another crystal activation, and that is really wild. Just the way the crystals activate that energy that comes in. I had another one the other day, really intense. But yeah. And so these crystals, you can connect to them. And there's a real energy. It's the same way with the skulls. I mean, it's something you can connect to that it's a great energy. How about the vets? It's all just a business. It is a business with the vets. They're not useful, and then they get scared of them. Rabies, not necessarily. Veterinarians, oh, okay. Oh, doctors. Public went crazy over the game yesterday. They were covering it like crazy on TV and social media. Okay. I didn't know that. Hey, B Brown. What's up, 8? Is it true? More money, more problems. When you hustling, make a lot of money, you have more problems. Not really. I would say that would be where people get sloppy. Sloppy people don't get sloppy. That's all. Some people, when they get more money, it make them more sloppy. But they were sloppy from the beginning. So they were sloppy really before they even had the money. So not necessarily. If you ain't sloppy and your shit is tight, everything you do is tight, you ain't got to really have the problems. No matter how, how people perceive you, how whatever you do, whatever way you shine. So no, you ain't necessarily got to have problems with it. I mean, if you tell yourself that's what it is, then yeah, you're telling yourself about problems. You're bringing problems to you, but not necessarily. Nah, you can have money. Just don't be sloppy. Anybody, don't be sloppy. No, I've never played that, Ricky. They're both Manchurians. Hmm, I didn't know that. Interesting. So yeah, you just don't have to be sloppy. What's interesting is how easy you get into certain businesses, the way money flows. I think you get a little, not really sloppy, but it's like, what is it? I'm even like searching for the word how it is, as the way that some people perceive when they have money and becomes normal. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. To have money and push money around is normal. Uh, but when you're solid, you're always solid when you're dealing with it. Embiid 7 foot flopping, fading, falling, throwing punches in the man, gonna kill somebody. What? I don't think he's gonna do all that. Is he gonna do all that? I mean, it's interesting, the people that, and I guess even this kind of popularity that comes with this, that people that have to do this kind of popularity to talk to people, to attract people, compared to a person in just a normal life. And for some people, this is part of their game, you know. That's all. And, I touch base with many people on here, so I have no trouble touching base with people. Everybody knows that about me. It's not hard to touch base with me. But I wasn't gonna hold y'all up. This Super Sly says I want to talk terribly, terribly late tonight. I do deserve to get some sleep, some good sleep at night, as Form Runner says, get some sleep at night. So I definitely need that tonight. So I wasn't gonna go terribly long. As always, I try to put this stuff in your mind. The omen. I live with this stuff. Send that jade energy out to you. And then finally, a bunch of stuff. Shock. Send that shock energy out to you. Just got back from the storm, baby. And this is the energy that's around me. It helps be me be me. And in closing, in closing, I give out the transformational energy, guys. Transformation, the transformation of being the were baby, as they call it, transforming, the Jaguar consciousness into us, which we all have the ability to transform ourselves. I guess you could even say manifestation is part of that. So I'm the only one that gives this. No one else sees the importance that this is like ultimate important. And nobody sees that. This is the most important, baby. And I give it to you freely to make you think about it. There's a Magbone. How you doing, man? Sorry, I'm kind of closing it down for the night. But you know, I had to give this out. They putting kids in them chicken sandwiches. It's funny. Canes, they put a Canes near me. Man, I like Canes food. Canes just don't have barbecue sauce or honey. You know, first they used to just give you honey. They don't even give you honey anymore. So I give this to you. And in closing, I want everybody to rest well. Those of you that are moving around, may you move there and from safely and securely, have fun. You know, don't be stressed when you lay. And last night, even though I laid and knew I couldn't sleep, I still wasn't stressed. Everything was beautiful. I was in a great place, in a great state of mind. And then just that quickly, you know, just as it can be quickly taken away from you, you can quickly get it back. But rest well. Wherever you're resting, rest well. You know, feel good about who you are. Love yourself. Love yourself. Be kind to people. But know that as you rest, you do all these things, that your rest will be well and comforted and protected. But be kind. Be kind to each other. And those of you that have to work as you hear this, and these words get through as I work and I listen to others, may the work go safely and may you arrive home safely. And love just is. Love has no equal. Love is supreme. It's love and nothing else. All we need is love. Love is all we need. All we need is love. Do, 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 do. All we need is love. Love. Love is all we need. And so, I finish with the words of the Time Walkers, or near finish. And the phrase was called Mora. And what Mora meant was that it all started with a gentle sadness. They came from their original lands, homeland. They knew that they had exact numbers of years and days before they would disappear off the earth as a culture and a lifestyle. But they would build this civilization to be modern, and they would build it to a gentle love. They all lived in the Creator's day, and when their time was up, they knew how to go back from where they came because they knew how to separate cycles in the Great Serpent. And also remember, as the mind would say, I am another yourself. I am another yourself. So, the words of Robert Heinlein, the days are long, but the years are short. I really mean it, y'all. Thank you for hanging with me. Thank you for watching this stuff. Thank you for the people that contribute, because it's fun doing this. And there's a thin line of doing this where so many people get attacked. Forgot to mention my brother's channel, Thought Merlin and the Serpent. He got a second strike and they put him down for 2 weeks. He only has something like a couple hundred subscribers, and already here he is down another 2 weeks. You know, so he puts out great work. It's probably the greatest researcher I know. Really is. I mean, I know other people talk about if you just had the time and the resources to research. Yeah. I mean, if him and I both had the time and the resources to really research, I mean, we put a lot of things out there. There's so many more. There's so much more to get, and so many more ways we can connect to the group and get the group together, and to get the group to, you know, kind of all benefit from putting the research out there. No doubt. It's that kind of electricity between all the people that really know each other and can talk to each other at any time and put out good stuff. I mean, it's really like that. And one of us, hopefully, you know, if one of us ever gets to shine, And really, it'll just be a way of great of putting the same information out, but a greater way and a more appealing way. I guess that's the way to put it. So that's what it is we all just want to be a little bit relevant, and if we all have good things to say. So this is another thing I want to. Sorry, I didn't bring the better picture out. Didn't think about it until late, but this is exercise that I think is, yeah. Because a lot of people, as they talk about the astral world and what you can do when you close your eyes or when you meditate, what you see, and really how to really see if you're supreme in what you're seeing is how to face certain things that culturally tell us um, we should be culturally scared of this kind of thing. And a lot of times it's really to make the saying, as they put in this book, the Tibetan Book of the Dead, one of the few books to practice. And I know quantum science says he doesn't believe it, but you don't have to believe this. I don't believe any of this either. But as a practice, it is a way. And that can't be denied. If you get really knee deep in this kind of information, the practices are there. Practices are there even for helping others. But there's definitely practices in here for helping yourself. That's what it's about. And so, as you visualize looking at something like this in its grossest form, knowing he still has the man-woman thing, but yet you still, if you have to do spiritual work, you have to look at things like this and make things like this. This is the barrier, you come to the barriers, you go to different directions and you come to this. This is kind of a map on how to really make this agreeable. And did you guys feel that? How this all will come to you? It won't just come to you all like this. It'll come to you in layers. Do you understand that? Did you feel that? Did I push that energy out there for you? Do you see how it would come to you in layers? And you have to show respect and show no fear. And it's making, these things that ain't agreeable. That's what it's doing for you. Looks like Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad you saw that movement. Good. But that's what it's about. As you tap into these things, as you become less food and more powerful. That's all. Less food and more powerful. And the more power you have, the more energy you save up, and it's time to get up out of here. What is that? This picture is called the Assembly of the 58 Wrathful Deities. The Assembly of 58 Wrathful Deities. As I said before, a lot of times when you do directional energy, this will come at you in different phases. Something like this. When they say 58, all of them might not necessarily come to you all 58, but in ways they would all come to you, and you'd have to show the different respects. But this is from the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and again, it's working on making wrathful beings or entities, work with you. You can't get thrown off just by the looks or by the scariness. That's all. Come on. God, wait. Didn't waste any beer there, guys. Oh my goodness. See, I'm getting needled, guys. Um, um, this is good stuff here. Let me see if I can. But these are level of energies. This is called solar plex charging. And these would be, the level of energies that you would be working with. So it says lay down with your head north and feet south. And that's important. In a semi-dark room with your legs folded at knees, crossing the typical yoga. Hands over your solar plexus on a slow, even inhalation. Visualize warm golden pranic energy flowing in through your head and down the body into your thighs and lower abdominal region, where it's prevented from escaping by your crossing your feet and is therefore stored. On a slow, even inhalation, bring the accumulated prana up around the solar plexus in a series of clockwise circles centered over the navel with 12 o'clock at the chest and 6 o'clock region. Like as many circles as possible while exhaling, concentrating, feeling upon an internal heat developing each visualization, energy sweeping around the solar plexus. I mean, a simple one to do too is very simple one. You could hold a piece of quartz, and you can like really get the quartz if you concentrate. Make the quartz make your feet warm, something like that. You'll feel the feeling of that, feeling of your feet warm. But bear with me, bear with me. I find that so funny. It's not really funny, but it is. Ah, super irritating. Okay. All right. This shows is it's called simple chakra what's that Tabata yantras. But these are each, so a lot of times what you do is when you first start meditating, you are creating bubbles. But what you want to do is eventually push all that away, and these are simple ways that you can create these shapes or concentrate to create these shapes as something you're concentrating in instead of just making bubbles. That's what this is good for. In the circle, whatever, there's a practice where you color the circle. I've showed the practice where you color the silver swadahana. So run this back and try that. And that's where the visions start coming from. You have to have a little bit of control. I'll tell you what, though, in a lot of ways, being yourself helps. You just be yourself and put the love out there, and the love comes back to you. And I've taken for granted and thrown away people that love me. And I've been betrayed by people I love. But yet I've done the same. And what I bring out here is I want each and every one of you to learn whatever you're going through, to how to cope with things. But That sounds foolish. Love is not necessary. That sounds foolish. Because in our essence, that's all we really are. There's nothing that vibrates higher than the signal of love. Now, if you have no signal of love, you're not going to vibrate very high, because that's what this is based on. I guess if there's any resistance to this, is love. That's why they skew the Jesus teaching so much of love. It never becomes that. It becomes, like you said, power instead of love that Jesus supposedly taught. And I am no Jesus person, but love each other, be kind to each other. Where does that fit into that? And that is it. That is the American way. That is why we were taken advantage of and murdered and diseased, because that's how we felt. We didn't feel the need to massacre other people to get our points across. It wasn't the American way. That's the European way. It's just history. Their history. Their history is never negotiation. It's always by the bullet. But that's all right, Joe. All right, Joe. I'm going to cut it. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. You know, I try to give these little hints on how to control your own thoughts. I've got to do a better job with the people around me, because some of them like kind of suffering from that. I can't necessarily say that what I show you you can do, but I try to give you these little things to try to incorporate them. Again, I mean, yeah, I could sell crystals. I can tell you where to get them, but they're not necessarily to make you happy or vibrate high, or not happy but joyful. Because that's one thing, you know, you definitely want to feel joy no matter what. You've got, like today was a beautiful day, playing with a friend, pickleball with my friend. The clouds were absolutely amazing, being on the reservation. I mean, enjoying that, really enjoying all that, how beautiful it was, how beautiful, you know, twilight coming was. I mean, these are things that I find beautiful. And it's like so often we want so much more, but yet we don't want to be here now. We want to keep putting things forward and forward instead of looking at right now and, like, you know, saying, oh, you know, what's the song say? I can make right now all right. And that's it. Make right now all right. Treasure right now. And I'm guilty as well, but I can treasure right now. I'm vibrating high. I know so many things that, you know. And I think, you know, I'm trying to understand the witches. I'm trying to understand them, and I think they're not harmful. So I'll back off that. Thank you for, you know, if you guys are kind of helping out, thank you. I appreciate it. I need it. And those out there that put positive things out there, you know, I appreciate it too. I know y'all, you know, y'all hope I get it together. I understand and I appreciate it. Y'all do. Y'all want to see me get it together and make it better? Right on. And that's it. Now all of it takes time, you know. And so one day at a time, we all are better and feel better and talk better and put it better. And so just it's thank you until then, you know. Till then, thank you still. Thank you still. I feel humbled that people will come out and check the stuff out. So that's why I think it's you know, I try to be as honest on what to expect on some of these situations, but really how to make yourself better and love this moment better. Love yourself. There's ways out of gloom. Thank you. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. And how to make you a magical being. Or how to tap into the magic that we all have. We all are magical. So we all can tap into it. So I try to put that out there in a practical way. And yes, we all can be what we want to be, no doubt. I as much as the Europeans have tried to slap me down, I've done the best to be the best I am. And I'm allowed to still be alive. I'm allowed to do this a little bit. And so, do I hate? No, I don't. I don't like the history. I think I'm let down a lot by the history. But I look at today as any opportunity, as today is the next day of opportunity. So no bitterness. What was done was done. We move forward. I understand, but it has to be recognized. And that's why I say, there's energies out there for us. Tap into it. Well, I can't say no more. Thank y'all. And yes, I know I can holler at you. Plus, I thank you. I brought up that all you guys are supposed to send me a 40 ounce in recognition of help a old dude out, preferably Miller Draft, because you can like DoorDash kind of send it to me. So thought that was going on. That was only like $3.50 for a 40 ounce. I was expecting a case. Maybe I forgot to mention that. But it's like every other day is that day. This is a perfect question to end right here. Is the force these people using the human race, is this thing beatable? Is the force these people are using to control the human race, is this thing beatable? The answer is 42. The answer is don't fight it. That's the thing. We don't have to fight it. To win, we don't have to fight it. To win, we don't have to fight it. That's the problem, is fighting it. That's the mind control. They want to get you in that mind control set that you got to fight it. You don't have to fight it. That's the answer. Don't fight it. I think, quantum science was kind of getting that on the head on everything all at once. The answer was don't fight it. And that's this thing too. Because I go back in time and I fight this motherfucker and I win, and things are changed and that is a reality, but it's like, shit, why do I got to go fight this thing? Why did it take that? Because that's what history tells you. They came in and fought, took all this from fighting. So when you go back in history and you change it, you got to fight again. And it's the same thing. Even though you've achieved it, you look back at what you've had to do, and it's the same thing. You damn near had to do what they did to keep all this. You just stole used their technology against them. And that's they even if you win that reality, they still win. Even if you win that reality, they still win. Because that's what they like. This thing that puts it on the most. So don't fight it. And it's hard for me because I like fighting this thing. But that's it. We don't have to fight it. That's it right there. Don't fight it. The thing is filter everything as what does it mean to me? Keep your vibration, as the witch says, love or above. And with that, I'm going to close. Thank you, guys. This has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. This has been your main man. Right now, today is sitting on a couple $100,000. Big Pontiac in your ear. Trying to make a statement to tell y'all I'm here. Till we meet again. Tomorrow is Sunday. I might just do it again. Say less.